Welcome back to another episode of the AJ Sports Podcast. I am one half Anthony Carboni, and to my right is the other half Justin Vilche. We are back since Montreal clinched on our live stream. We are four games in every series. Oh my goodness gracious!
Yeah.
It is insane. Halfway down the first round, the entire Western Conference is tied at 2-2. The Eastern Conference is potentially going to all go up 3-1 depending on how the Tampa Bay Florida game goes up, goes down, but we're here to find out. But first, we got to see what's up to the boy, Justin. What's up, man? Are we ready to talk about playoffs?
Oh, dude, we are here to talk about playoffs. You already know. We're absolutely buzzing, for the broskies in Toronto. You already know, bro. And, dude, the playoffs have actually been super hype, bro. Like, pretty much every series has been, like, kind of unpredictable. Because I'm like, whoa. Like, there's some teams that are, kind of like, oh, wow, like, these teams are kind of going off. And then there's some matchups that are like, oh, like, what are these guys doing, bro? Like, are they taking their competition, like, too lightly? So, I don't know, bro, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
We will talk about it indeed. Let's jump right into it. So, on our live stream, we did our predictions for the playoffs. I said Senators in 7. Let's just reiterate our picks. So for me, I said Sens in 7 for the Leafs match. I said Florida in 7. I said Habs in 7, and I said Carolina in 5 in the East. Then I said Blues in 7, Avs in 7, Kings in 5, and Vegas in 6. Justin, fairly similar to mine. What did you have?
Yeah. I had Leafs in 5. I had Canes in 5. Caps in 6. I had Florida in 7. And to the West, I had Avs in 6. I had Blues in 7. I then had Vegas in 5. And then I had
LA.
Kings in 5.
Yes, right on. So let's move on, talk about the series that have happened so far. Let's go to the Western Conference first and talk about the St. Louis and Winnipeg series. It is now going to a Game 5. The Winnipeg Jets took both games at home. They were up 2-0, a little concerning for the Blues, but a series isn't officially over until you lose a home game, and the Blues went back home down 2-0 and took advantage of that. Game 3 absolutely destroyed Winnipeg. It was like 7-3 or something like that. They were out hitting, outscoring, and out shooting the Winnipeg Jets. Hellebuyck got pulled. He is now showing his true colors, just like last year and the year before, letting in goals and getting pulled in Game 3. Game 4. The Jets go up 1-0. Okay, go into the second period. They're up 1-0. All right, let's see what happens. They proceed to give up 5 unanswered goals. The Blues win 5-1. Guess what? Connor Hellebuyck got pulled again. In the second straight game, Connor Hellebuyck got pulled, who is supposed to probably will win the Vezina this year because of his wins, his save percentage, and his goal differential. Gets pulled in the second straight playoff game. And the series going back to Winnipeg for Game 5 is at 2-2. How do you feel about this Blues team? Because if you ask me, they are really scary. And the fact that in their last 14 games at home, they are 14-0. They are unstoppable at home. What do you think of the Blues?
I think the Blues, I think they're doing exactly what I thought they would do. I thought they were going to give the Jets a little bit of a scare. I thought, Binner, I know for a fact Binner is in Hellebuyck's head. I know that for a fact because of what happened in the Four Nations. And Binner's doing his thing. The Blues are doing their thing. They do this once every, seems like to be 5 years where, they just go on a fucking hot streak out of nowhere at the perfect time. And I do believe that the Blues are not afraid of this Jets team. I think they think exactly how we think about the Jets team is that, bro, they're frauds. We know how Hellebuyck plays in the playoffs. We've seen it last year against Colorado. The Jets are really not that scary come playoff time. I mean, they're very beatable. Even when they were playing in Winnipeg in Game 1 and really in Game 1, and actually both games in Winnipeg, dude, the Blues were in both of those games. So the Jets are not looking like this, this big, number one team that they were in the regular season. And I think the Blues are fancying their chances here. Now it's best out of 3, 2-2. I do believe the Blues could win Game 5. The way by Hellebuyck is playing, Jets fans should be worried, and I think the Blues should be in there with full of confidence. I mean, Hellebuyck's been pulled this series, and you know what, dude? This isn't just a one-game thing. This has been happening over the past couple of years. So as long as the Blues keep shooting pucks at Hellebuyck, chances are, bro, they gonna go in. So I mean, bro, the Blues are rolling. And honestly, I believe that the Blues win Game 5 back in Winnipeg. Because I can tell you right now, bro, the Blues are not scared of that fucking whiteout. Nobody's scared of the fucking whiteout. Like, let's just be for real. And bro, they're not scared of Hellebuck. And you know for a fact, Binner is hyping the guys up because he knows he could be Hellebuck. So
These
you're,
like these two games right here, just like and just even looking at the rest of the series and the different series in the playoffs, it feels different because a lot of times in the playoffs the scoring is very low. We've seen a lot of high scoring games in these playoffs, which is entertaining as shit. But defensively and goaltending wise, not great for a lot of teams considering they're giving up a lot of goals, but they are scoring a lot of goals. Yeah, my what do I think? I think the Blues will come back and take this. We've Justin and I have been saying for years that the Jets are frauds. They've been on fraud watch for I don't know how long. This year especially because they won the President's Trophy, and I just don't think they're that great. They are proving us right as we speak, considering how bad they played in the last two games, and they will continue to prove us right that they are frauds, and they will get bounced in the first round by this Blues team. I really feel the Blues they just have such a nice forward core. I'm loving the Buchnevich, Kyrou, Thomas. Like bro, these guys are just absolutely killing them. And defensively as well, the defense. Oh my goodness, man, the defense has been amazing, and obviously Bennington.
what the fuck was that? Cam Fowler had a 5 point game in Game 3. I was like, what the hell's going on?
Exactly.
Fowler, Addy, like whoa. Like
oh, five. Imagine you bet the house on Cam Fowler getting 5 points, bro. Be millionaires right now, bro. Oh my goodness, we wouldn't be here right now. But it's actually insane. Good for the Blues. Moving on to the next matchup, the Avs and Stars. As we predicted, it would be really close. It is 2-2 in that series as well. Colorado taking a dominant game one. The next game, Dallas proceeded to win the next two, one at home and the first one in Colorado. And in Landeskog's return, he comes into game four, or comes into was it game three he played, but he didn't get a point? I think he came in game three, or was his first game game four?
Game 3.
Yeah, so he comes in, they lose, whatever. But then in game four, he gets his first goal. The Avs absolutely dominated the Stars in shots. Ottinger was pulled in that game as well, and they shut them out in game four to tie the series up at 2, heading back to Dallas. How does your second favorite team favor in this best of three now? 2-2 with one of the best teams in the Western Conference in Dallas.
I think they're full of confidence. I think honestly, in game 4, I don't really see why Otter got pulled. He only gave up 3 goals on like 34 shots through fucking 2 periods. So I was like, that's kind of unnecessary. But dude, the Stars were only down 3 goals. Like we've seen 3-goal comebacks in the playoffs all the time. But I think the Avs, I just don't see anybody beating them 4 times in a series. I think this Avs team are gonna pull through. And dude, like when they win, bro, they look dominant. Like game 1, they looked dominant. Last game, they knew that they had to win that game. They showed up. Well, what was the score? Like 4-0 or something? And like, bro, they absolutely dominated the Stars there. Dude, they're just a force to be reckoned with. No Miro Heiskanen still.
Not
DeBoer said he's not ready. He's apparently still in Europe, so he's still not ready to play. Yeah, bro, I just think the Colorado Avalanche are like they're not worried, they're not stressed about a 2-2, going back to Dallas, because they know they've already won once there, so why not just do it again? And I think honestly, I think they'll do it tonight. Yeah, I don't really see the Stars going up 3-2 in this series. I don't know. Something tells me it's just not going to happen. So I think, obviously McKinnon doing McKinnon things in the series. And then you have Nichushkin and, Landeskog's back. So I just think, the hopes are high. And, especially with Landeskog back, like that's such a boost for the team as well. So, yeah, I think they win today and, go to close it out in Ball Arena Game 6.
Yeah, you nailed on the head there. I really think the Avalanche take tonight. They looked really good in Game 4. Dallas obviously very vulnerable in this series without their best defenseman. Still managed to have it tied at 2. So I got to give them props for that. The fact that they're managing to beat the Avalanche without their best defenseman. And so a lot of the play from their top guys isn't there. Like I haven't really been seeing Hintz. I haven't been seeing Robo really contributing in this series a lot. So the fact that the Stars are still in this series without their top guys really going is impressive enough. So we'll see what happens tonight in Dallas. They need to get this win in their arena. Colorado, I think this would be very huge if they were to take game 5 and then go back to Colorado and close it out at home, which is what I think will happen. But I did say this would go 7, so for entertainment wise, hopefully it does, and maybe Heiskanen could come back for game 7. But moving along to the Pacific Division slash, I guess you can call it, I guess a little bit of the Central, because the Minnesota Wild are in this Pacific Division pool playing Vegas now. Vegas won game 1 at home. Minnesota comes and ties it in the second home game. And then, surprisingly, the Minnesota Wild win game 3 and go up 2-1 in the series. Their first lead that we've seen in a while for them in the playoffs. Vegas the other night just came back and won in overtime and tied it. And there was a stat saying that the Minnesota Wild have never held a 3-1 series lead in franchise history. Could you believe that? And obviously, they just decided to jinx the Wild, and Vegas tied it at 2. Like we said, all the series in the West are tied. Minnesota playing really solid for a wild card team. To me, they don't look like a wild card team. They're playing decent and holding up with the Pacific Division champs. How do you think this series goes? Because we are going to Vegas for Game 5, and the Wild look really good, especially Kaprizov after he came back from injury.
The Wild. I didn't really know what to think of the Wild coming into this postseason because they were struggling, kind of limping into the postseason. But then we kind of also, had to figure and remember that when the season started, the Wild were one of the best teams in the league when everybody was healthy. Remember, they were like 14. They were like 14-3-1 at one point. Like they were cruising along, and everybody got injured and stuff, and then that kind of what hindered their season. But they still made it to the playoffs, and now they look like that team from when they first started in the regular season. So I think the Minnesota Wild, honestly, I could see them pulling off this upset here. I could see them, kind of doing things and, beating Vegas in this series. Now, I do think Vegas do have more star power, and I think they will pull through just slightly because Minnesota Wild kind of giving them problems here. But I just think, going to T-Mobile Arena in Vegas, I think that will help them a lot. I know Minnesota already got one, but I don't see them getting 2 away wins in this series away at Vegas, so I think with the home advantage, I think Vegas will take this, but it's going to be tight though. It's oh goodness. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota somehow pull this off because Minnesota, again, as we saw at the start of the season, they were really good when everybody was healthy, and everyone seems healthy. So I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm still going to back Vegas in this one.
Yeah, it's a really good series so far. Very close considering it's 2-2. Adin Hill hasn't been performing up to standard as, he just signed an extension and he hasn't been great. Goaltending's been a little shaky over in Vegas, so I really don't know like where the series can go. I mean, you did bring up T-Mobile as an advantage for the Golden Knights. I do feel that way as well. However, man, the Wild are a wild team. They can get scoring from anywhere in their lineup. Kaprizov is not looking to go out in the first round again after he's been out for a long time. And for them to upset Vegas would be really interesting. So they're going to come out Game 5 strong. But to me, this series honestly could be a coin toss because of how close they have been in each game. And it's 2-2, so who knows. But if Minnesota take this in Vegas, that'll be huge to go back to Minnesota with the chance to clinch the series. So we will see what happens Game 5, which would be tomorrow.
Yeah, only 2 games on. No Canadian teams because of the election. Yeah. I'm most certain that's the reason. Because I was like, there's no Canadian teams today. But it makes sense, the election is on tonight. I was going to say something about Vegas real quick.
Goaltending, defense, forwards, depth. What was it?
No, it's okay. We'll just move on.
We will move on to one of the most entertaining series in the playoffs, Edmonton, LA. LA, 2 dominant wins at home to start the series. As we know, they're the best team on home ice. They have been the best team on home ice in the regular season. The series shifts over to Edmonton. Oh, well, first of all, we got to talk about the play of Stuart Skinner because he was god-awful. Yeah. God-awful giving up stinky floaters, especially in that Game 1 win where Edmonton came back from down 4-0. And Edmonton came back in the final minutes of the game. McDavid kept putting the team on his back, going through everybody, scoring the goal, just for Skinner to give up a stupid, fumbled shot. And McDavid was probably cussing him out after the game. Game 2 happens, Same thing. The Kings just look too dominant for the Oilers. We think this series is going to be over. No. Series shifts back over to Edmonton. Edmonton win game three in an insane matchup right there because I think the Kings were up at one point and they made a comeback. And then yesterday, down 3-1 in the third in game four, the Oilers pull through, Bouchard tying it with like a minute 30 left, and then Draisaitl in overtime on the power play ties the series up at 2. Interesting. That cancels out both of our picks for LA winning in 5 as the Oilers look really good in these last 2 games. Mind you, Calvin Pickard came in for game 3 because the Oilers were just not having it with Stuart Skinner's play. And now Calvin Pickard is riding the hot hand 2-0 against the LA Kings going back to LA for game 5, which should be Wednesday. What do you think?
Yeah.
Because both of us had LA winning in 5 and the Oilers have tied the series up at 2. How do you feel right now, man?
Bro, I don't even know what to think. Like, Bouchard had 2 goals in the third period. They were down 3-1 with 10 minutes to go. Somehow come back. And I don't know if... I don't really know what the Kings are doing because this is like the third lead like throughout the series and they've blown 2 of them and they almost blew the one in game 1. I don't know, like, bro, if you're up, bro, just continue playing how you were while going up, bro. Like, there's a reason why you're winning. Continue to play that way. Like, you're obviously up for a reason, bro. Like, this is now the second game in a row where they've done this, where they've taken the lead and then they just fucking blown it because they're, like, making adjustments. Dude, just fucking play the way you were. Like, that helped you get the lead in the first place. This is now 2 games that they've pretty much sold. Yeah, they have sold. And now, instead of, potentially being up 3-1 or potentially even sweeping the Edmonton Oilers, now you're 2-2 going back to LA, and who knows with McDavid and Draisaitl what they're capable of doing in Game 5 back in LA at Crypto.com Arena. So I don't know where the series is going to go because one side, a part of me thinks, okay, the Kings should win this series. They've been the better team throughout the whole series. But then a part of me is like, I think the Oilers are in their head because, bro, this series should be done, or should be at least the Kings should have a stranglehold on these Oilers right now. Like, the Kings are a better team. And, like, I just think, from previous years, I think there's a little bit of doubt in the Kings players' minds. Like, we actually might not be able. Like, these guys might be our kryptonite. Like, I don't know. Like, they probably don't know if they could beat this Oilers team. And I don't know where this year's gonna go now. I can see the Oilers winning now, and it pains me to say because I despise the Edmonton Oilers, and I really hope the Kings pull through. But like, this is such a toss up because I don't know. I think the Kings are in their own head, and like the Edmonton Oilers are kind of just like right in the hot hand with, which by the way, Pickard has not been great. Let's just be for real. But also Kemper has also not been great. So I don't really know where the hell this is gonna go, which makes it so great and fun, and entertaining because I'm all over the place.
Which makes the playoffs.
I don't fucking
makes the playoffs entertaining as it is. Wow, I can't believe it. We're at 2-2 in this series. I really thought the Kings were gonna just bounce the Oilers out quickly. Man, they're riding the hot hand with Pickard. He hasn't been amazing, but he hasn't lost a game. He's undefeated in the playoffs. One of the only goalies undefeated in the playoffs. Probably the only goalie undefeated in the playoffs right now. I think he's the only guy that hasn't lost a game. So, a big game. I think if Edmonton takes Game 5, they win in 6 at home. The Oilers, the home crowd is just unmatched over there, it looks like. The Kings have to win at home. They need this because they could lose Game 6. It could just be a case where every team wins at home. So, big game for the Oilers, big game for the Kings. For Canada's sake, I would love to see Edmonton take it. For NHL's sake, because I love seeing the way the Kings team is built. I would love to see them go through and finally take out the Edmonton Oilers. But like you said, I don't know who's going to win the series now either, considering how close it is and that it's 2-2. So Game 5, I think, is Wednesday, same as the Habs-Caps game. So we're gonna be excited for that one. Let's move on. What's that?
The Kings cannot be this good at home and lose their most pivotal home game of the season, Game 5. Yeah. This cannot happen. They have got to win this game. You've been so dominant at home. If they lose this Game 5, oh goodness gracious, I don't know what the Kings are going to do, because 4 years in a row you've had chances to take these guys out, and you've blown it. So we'll see. I've seen crazier things, so we'll see. Maybe the Kings will win.
We will definitely see. Indeed, Game 5 is Wednesday, I believe. So a couple days for the Oilers and Kings to rest up. Let's move on to the East. Let's talk about the... What's that? It's tomorrow. Oh, it's tomorrow. Oh, shoot. Okay. So tomorrow we got back to back games, which we're going to talk about shortly with this other Canadian team. But let's move along to the Eastern Conference and talk about the series that Justin and I would pretty much predict probably will happen. Carolina, New Jersey, probably the most boring series of the entire playoffs, in our opinions, that we've been talking about off camera. The Hurricanes
Yeah.
do Hurricanes looking to finally be in the contention spot. They've been in the conference final. They've been to the second round. Haven't been able to get it done. The whole Rantanen shenanigans this year as well. Still managed to come out top two in the Metro and are putting the beating on the Devils. Two dominant home wins to start the series, going up 2-0. Then a tough overtime loss in Game 3, which honestly could have went either way. Went to double overtime. Simon Nemec tied the series, or not tied the series, won Game 3 for the Devils, made it 2-1. And then after a little sketchy moment in Game 4 where the Hurricanes were up 3-0, the Devils were looking to come back. Andrei Svechnikov gets a hat trick to seal the deal, and the Hurricanes get to go back home to Raleigh to clinch the series, or the opportunity to clinch the series in 5. Nothing really like exciting for me about this series. Is there anything you want to say? I mean, we pretty much predicted that Carolina would be the way better team based on Jack
Yeah.
Hughes being out and the way the Hurricanes are just play as a unit, and they're really good defensively. However, Frederick Anderson did leave Game 4, and Kochekov had to
Yep.
finish. So the status on Anderson we don't know yet. But Kochekov did come in and finish the game and won. So he'll probably start Game 5 unless Anderson pulls like a Logan Thompson and just comes back. But yeah, what do you think? What do you think of the series?
Yeah, I think this has been probably the most obvious series that we've seen. I mean, dude, the Hurricanes are just a better team. The Devils are missing a whole bunch of fucking players. They don't have no Luke Hughes. They don't have Jack Hughes. And it's just kind of just, the season's pretty much done for them. I don't see the Devils winning 3 straight, and I don't see them because I don't see them winning Carolina because they never win at fucking Carolina. So, yeah, this shit's probably over in the next couple days. Um, Dude, the Hurricanes just looked like the Devils just can't match the intensity, and they just can't match the goal scoring, and that's just simply what it is. The Canes just have too many offensive weapons. And yeah, it's pretty much over. I think Devils fans have realized that it's over. I think on Twitter, Devils fans are kind of like, yeah, well, this shit's pretty much over. So yeah, I mean, congrats to the Canes. They'll go into the second round, and yeah, it's pretty much what we predicted anyway.
We're
So
gonna have I'm gonna see when Game 5 is. Is it tomorrow? Also, it is tomorrow. Game 5 will be tomorrow. We've got Oilers, Kings. We've got Wild Vegas, Carolina, and New Jersey, and then another one we're gonna talk about in a sec. But let's move on to Washington, Montreal, my team, playing the Washington Capitals, the best team in the Eastern Conference. Game 1 looked a little rough in the beginning for the Habs as the Capitals were dominant in the hit department, very dominant. But, a third period comeback saw it go 2-2. And of course, Ovi in overtime scoring apparently his first ever overtime playoff goal, which I found very hard to believe considering I don't think he's missed the playoffs except for the lockout year. Like maybe a few times in his career, but he has, he got his first, whatever. Tough game for Montreal, whatever, it's fine. They go down 1-0. Then they go down 2-0 after, decent play in the second game. They go down 2-0. Okay, no problem. We wait to go to the Bell Center because that's where it's going to be kicking. Game 3 last Friday. The Bell Center was rocking. Probably the best arena to play in the entire playoffs. Out of any team in the playoffs, it was rocking. The atmosphere was insane. They had their own square outside. So many people were outside. Sold out crowd. Towels flying everywhere. Fire all over the arena because of the fucking torch thing that they do. The fucking anthem was insane when they played it with the organ and everything. And the Habs come out and dominate game 3, winning 6-3. And then Game 4, they looked decent up until the third period. They go up 2-1 late in the second, and I'm like, oh shit, this is it. This is where we can tie the series at 2-2 because we go back to Washington and have a chance to maybe take it back to Montreal with a 3-2 lead. However, Wilson changed the entire game with an absolute beautiful hit on Carrier, which apparently Dobish at the end was concerned that they should have blown the whistle dead because of that hit. I don't really know. I mean, hockey's hockey. Keep your head up and play, if you ask me. And not even trying to be biased here. You got to keep your head up always. And, I thought Wilson delivered a really good hit. Momentum swings the other way, and Washington score. And then later, with 3 minutes left, Mangiapane, out of all people, gets the puck. Gouli doesn't have him. He gets a clear shot. He scores, makes it 3-2. Two empty netters later, and the Capitals win 5-2 with the chance to go back to Washington to close it out in 5. Couple things. One, what was I gonna say? Yeah, in Game 3, Dylan Strome ran his own goalie over, Logan Thompson, and it looked really bad. Montembeault did leave with a hamstring injury, so Dobish had to come in and play the rest of the game. We don't know what Montembeault's status is, but he is day to day. We don't know if he'll play Game 5. Logan Thompson looked like he took the worst injury I've ever seen for a goalie, where his leg looked like it snapped, fucking bent up on the back after his own player ran. Yeah,
needed multiple guys to carry him to the fucking bench.
Yeah, he literally could not, was limping on it. Come to find out, on Saturday, or he was practicing, or Sunday morning, Jesus, he was practicing in the net. So, two things. One, was he just faking it on purpose to limp off? Because there's no way it was that bad. Or two, did he see Aaron Ekblad before Game 4 to get all those enhancements to play? Because all of a sudden, Logan Thompson is apparently ready to go, and he started Game 4 after taking one of the worst looking injuries I've ever seen for a goalie, limping off the ice, could barely even fucking put weight on his left leg. All of a sudden, he plays Game 4, and the Capitals win with a chance to go up 3-1. If I'm being honest, the Capitals do not look threatening at all. Montreal has made, this is a closer series than the games show. This series could easily be 3-1 Montreal right now, had they capitalized on their chances, maybe won Game 1 in overtime, and not blow this lead in the third period last night. Justin, what do you think of this series? And are you scared of Washington? Because I wouldn't be if I'm the rest of the Eastern Conference, considering how Montreal is handling their business.
Yeah, no. I think hypothetically, if the Leafs play the Capitals in the conference final, I think the Leafs would actually do quite well. The Capitals, bro, they don't look all that scary, like what you said, bro. I've been watching this series closely, and bro, the Habs have been in every single game. This series could have realistically beat, honestly, 2-2 or even 3-1 Montreal. The Capitals don't look like this number one team in the Eastern Conference. They don't look all that threatening. I think the goaltending matchup has been quite close. I think Montembeault has actually, when he's actually been playing, he's actually held his ground pretty well. I think Dobish has held his ground also pretty well. I think he got unlucky with that Mangiapane absolute snipe yesterday. I was like, oh my goodness, since when? Because Mangiapane's been absolutely nowhere all fucking season. Okay, and I think, you know what? The Habs are a young team, and they're going up against guys who have been there, done that. Wilson, Ovi, John Carlson, right? So I think it's kind of just a little bit of veterans against amateurs in this playoffs. But dude, the Habs are holding their ground. It looks like the Habs have been here before, which they have. I guess in the bubble, right? But that was how many years ago? 3-4 years ago already. Yeah. By the way, so it's I think realistically, the Habs could come out firing tomorrow. Or whenever they play next, I could see this young on Wednesday. I could see this young Habs team, because really they got nothing to lose. They're kind of just here on vibes anyway. So it's not like this is their final run. This isn't like Ovi's final run or anything for the Habs. The Habs have multiple years ahead of them, and but they got the young core, the young power play. They got nothing to lose. They're just gonna go out there firing. I expect them to rip more shots than what they did yesterday. They only ripped about 16, 17 shots. So I do expect the Habs to come out firing. I could see, the Habs maybe, pulling out a win tomorrow or on Wednesday. Going from there.
Yeah, they need this. They need to win Game 5, obviously, because if they could go back and win Game 5, I think there's a strong chance they come out and go out and force it to Game 7. You sent me the stat earlier. The Capitals have lost 5 best-of-7 series in franchise history, while leading 3-1, the most by any NHL team. So the Capitals, when they hold a 3-1 lead, tend to choke. Is what we have seen. It happened with the Hurricanes in 2019. I remember they were up. Apparently, they lead the NHL in 3-1 series leads blown. So if it's anything for myself and the rest of Habs Nation, we'll see what happens. I hope. I did like the play of Dobish. I mean, the rookie mistake of kicking that that first goal should have never happened. He should have froze the puck. Tough. He kicked it out, and Dylan Strome was just there. Nobody picked him up. The young blood of the Habs in Slav, Demidov, Caulfield, Suzuki, and Hudson. That power play was insane. 2 for 4, 50% last night. The PK, tremendous penalty kill. Killed all 5 of Washington's fucking power plays. I gotta give. I mean, listen, this has been throughout the whole playoffs. The reffing has been absolutely atrocious. There have been so many missed calls. They're trying to, a lot of the calls too, like are trying to trying to balance it where at least they look even on the penalties, because there is certain like some soft calls that went Montreal's way. A couple times, fucking Wilson was just cross checking, like the Caulfield one in game 2 didn't call that, and while the ref was standing right there. There's just been a lot of inconsistency with the fucking refereeing, and that's definitely got to like something to look at. The battle on the bench in Game 3, Jack Guy and Wilson. Oh my goodness, was insane to watch as fans, because that series, a lot of people were sleeping on it, but it's been, for me, top 3 out of the entire 8 matchups we've seen, like with entertainment wise, considering how the fucking firepower, like the star power going up against each other, the body checks, and the play from Josh Anderson's line with Dvorak and Gallagher. Gallagher turning back the clock. That line has been really good. I've been enjoying seeing Anderson play, and Demidov. That assist last night was disgusting. That assist was nasty. So the young core is doing their thing on the power play. No Line A again, but they look a lot better without him, apparently. So I think that power play is going to stay the same. The penalty kill was amazing. And yeah, all the pressure is now on the Capitals. They have to close this out. They're the Eastern Conference champions. Let's not forget that. They won the Eastern Conference. They're the number 2 seed in the NHL. They need to close this out. Because if not, the Montreal Canadiens win. If they win Game 5, I think they push it to 7, because Game 6 vibes at the Bell Center, immaculate. So we're going to see what happens, what the young guys in Montreal will do in a scenario where they can get eliminated. A lot of these guys have never been there before. We're going to see what they're made of. Anything to add before we move on?
I said this before the series, bro. This series could be tricky for the Capitals. Again, the Habs have nothing to lose here. Like, they could just go out there and just play their game for fun. I think there's a lot of pressure. I think Capitals fans are nervous for Game 5, because I think they know that you can't really count out the Montreal Canadiens, really. They're a young team. They got vibes out there. They got young guys. And most of them, it's their first playoff. And like, dude, they got to get, the experience and learn what it's like to, be down in the series. So I think they're going to go out there full of heart. And you know what, bro? Again, I can see the Habs winning. I can see the Habs winning. And I wouldn't be surprised, because I know for a fact this Habs team, they never quit. And I've seen it before. These guys never fucking quit. They will always be in your face until the fucking clock hits 0. It's like, dude, can you just fucking stop playing, bro? So, you know what? Habs are gonna win on Wednesday. Habs are gonna win.
I hope so. I fucking hope so. We are gonna be dialed in to watch that game for sure. Let's move on to the Atlantic Division matchups. Battle of Florida, Tampa, Florida. Nate Schmidt has 3 goals in 3 games. Okay. A third pair defenseman on the Panthers, second pair, has 3 goals in 3 games. What? The Panthers come out and win both games in Tampa Bay, as they are the 3 seed, go up 2-0. And then the last game we saw was Tampa Bay just putting the fucking beating on the Panthers. We haven't seen it. Hagel did get suspended for 1 game after his hit on Barkov in game 2. And then in game 3, the Lightning were, after the Panthers went up 1-0. Tampa Bay just came back and put 5 past Bob and went up 5-1 and won game 3. Matthew Tkachuk avoided suspension because of dangerous play at center ice. Gensel didn't even have the puck. Boom. Looked like he gave him a headshot, like with a body check. He went down. No discipline for Tkachuk. Now, a lot of Tampa fans are pissed. Because that, honestly, if you're going to call the Hagel one a suspension, there has to be something done with the Tkachuk one. That, honestly, that should have been a suspension if you were going to count the Hagel one as a suspension. The inconsistency, like I said, with the reffing has been terrible. And now Tampa Bay in Florida need to win to tie this back at 2, to go back home and potentially go up 3-2. What do you think, man? Like the refing is honest, is so bad, and it pisses me off that like Kachuk is playing tonight for Game 4. What do you think?
He should be fucking suspended, bro. Like it's not difficult, bro. Like all you have to do is just look at two videos: the Hagel hit and the Kachuk hit. They're pretty much the same thing, bro. Like if one is gonna get suspended, bro, you gotta suspend the other one, bro. Like stop rigging this, bro. Like it's clear as day. It's obvious, bro. And all throughout the whole playoffs, it's the same thing. Refs being unfair, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, do you know how to do your job? So that angers me, because Kachuk shouldn't be playing tonight. Tampa Bay, tremendous game in Game 3. You know, they came back strong. They knew they couldn't be down 3-0, 2-1. Now, this Tampa team also never quits, bro. Goodness gracious. I mean, like, tonight I can see Lightning win it. And, you know, this could be another one of those, you know, like the away team wins every game in this year. You know, like, I can see Lightning win today, the Florida wins Game 5, and then Lightning win Game 6. You know, it's like, because we've seen it happen, you know. Like, remember, like, Vegas and, in Dallas last year, remember, it was like Vegas took both games in Dallas, and then Dallas go to Vegas, and then Dallas win both games in Vegas. It's like, what is happening, bro? So it's like, bro, just win in front of your home crowd, right? So it's like, dude, I can see the same thing happening tonight. And honestly, bro, there's really no like home ice advantage in the Battle of Florida. It's like, bro, like
it's in Florida. Like they're literally like 30. They're like an hour, maybe less, maybe even less, like apart from each other.
Let's just be for real. So it's like, you know what? This series has been good. I wouldn't consider it top 3 though. Like it's been good. Like it's been whatever, you know. It's been you know. But I mean, yeah. We've seen this happen like in the past. So it's like this year doesn't really excite me like how it did like in the first couple times. But it's like it's whatever, you know.
Massive game tonight.
I still think Panthers win. Like the series, but I do think Tampa wins tonight though. But
we will definitely see indeed big game for Florida as they can go up 3-1 and potentially close it out next time in Tampa Bay. So we will keep an eye on that game tonight. But the final series, we got to talk about it. The Toronto Maple Leafs and Ottawa Senators. Dominant Game 1 win for the Leafs. Senators didn't even look like they were ready for the playoffs. They did not know what was going to come. And the Leafs just fucking hummed them in their own building. After all the doubt of, you know, Leafs being shit at home, they come out and win Game 1 6-2. Game 2 a lot closer. It was 2-2. The Senators come back in the third and tie it at 2-2 when they were down 2-0. And the Leafs, Max Domi with the win in overtime. They go up 2-0. Heading to Ottawa. A lot of Sens fans, not as many Leafs fans as the regular season as we seen in the regular season. The Senators fans were loud. However, unlike the Heroes and Simon Benoit get the OT winner because Game 3 also goes to overtime. And the Leafs go up 3-0 in the series. The first time the Leafs have had a 3-0 series lead since 2001 against the Ottawa Senators. It was the first time in a long time since the Leafs had a 3-0 series lead ever in the playoffs. They finally go up 3-0, and game 4 in Ottawa, the next two nights later, with the chance to clinch the second round without losing a single game, and the Leafs come out strong. They were battling. Too many penalties. The first penalty, let's talk about it. Domi, he's battling with Pinto in the crease for a face-off. Clips Pinto. They call it right away. And the Senators score on the ensuing power play, 1-0. Timmy Stu gets into the series. A little bit later, Leafs on the power play. Okay? They've got 5 forwards. Marner turns it over at the blue line, and Pinto parlays on the breakaway. Score shorthanded. Senators are apparently 6-0 or 7-0 when scoring a shorthanded goal. This includes in the regular season. They go up 2-0. However, just before the first period ends, JT with a tip from Willie Schott makes it 2-1. Then, in the second, Matthew Knies blows right past Artem Zub. He comes in, and he scores a beautiful goal, makes it 2-2. Then we go to the third, tied at 2. Leafs getting worked in their own zone, only for Nick Jensen to find an open David Perron on the right side. Tapped in, makes it 3-2. And then with 5 minutes left, Willie Stiles over to Ekman Larson to tie the game. Cross crease, pass across. Our favorite thing in Chell. They do it in real life. And the Leafs go 3-3. into the third straight overtime, but third of the series. They go to overtime. And in overtime, we got a long battle. We are battling. They're battling. It's close. Leafs get a 4-minute power play after Drake Batherson takes a double minor on Chris Tanev. And the Leafs could not finish it. The Leafs, these guys, man, for so many years have been criticized for not being able to close out games. And it continues to be that way as Jake Sanderson throws one on net. Stolarz was screened. And with 2 minutes left in the overtime, the Senators score, and they stay alive, and we are back tomorrow for Game 5 between the Toronto Maple Leafs and Ottawa Senators. Justin, you and I watched Game 4 together. How did you feel, and how are you feeling heading into Game 5?
Honestly, bro, I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like, when the Leafs were up against Montreal in the bubble, I was like, oh shit. You know, because we were dealing with injuries, and it really wasn't, you know, like I was confident, but I was like, oh fuck, you know, it's Montreal, Carey Price, and all that, bro. I'm telling you right now, bro, I am not fearing the Ottawa Senators, bro. I'm telling you right now, bro. What did I say? Leafs in 5. The Leafs were always gonna lose. Like, they were always gonna lose at least one game. Okay, like teams are not getting swept in the Battle of Ontario. Okay, like that's just not happening. Okay, I had a feeling. Okay, we might lose Game 4. You know, whatever. We are gonna win on Tuesday. The shit is over. Okay. I'm not scared by the Ottawa Senators, bro. I'm not losing sleep over the Ottawa Senators, bro. Okay? That's one thing. 2, the referees. Bro, I am sick and tired, bro, of the referees rigging the game and having Senators money line. Bro, how is it possible that Domi's getting pens when Pinto was literally, like slashing him in his stick at the face-off dot? Like, and then, bro, Domi gets a pen for, it's like, dude, are we being serious? Okay, so that's one thing, bro. The refs are absolutely atrocious. Okay, and Morgan Rielly, bro, I swear, 4-minute power play. Okay, 4-minute power play in OT, and JT gets elbowed, by the way, in the face. Okay, during the OT. By the way, should be a pen. It should be expelled from the league because you almost gave him a fucking concussion. Okay, like this is absolutely insane, and no pen. Okay, but then you give Domi a pen for a little. Okay. And somebody was also getting choked. I think it was JT as well, getting choked in the game after the whistle was blown. And no pen in that as well. Okay? I'm so sick and tired of this. Okay? But anyway, overtime. 4-minute power play. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is actually the end. And then I see Rielly on the ice. Bro, I knew for a fact we weren't scoring, bro. And look, we did not score on the 4-minute power play. I knew for a fact.
They deserve to lose that game because they didn't score. They deserve to lose that game because they did not score on that double minor.
In OT. 4 minutes. And we didn't score. Okay, you're telling me you have nobody else on offense to put on the power play except like to replace JT? No, you have to put Morgan Rielly. He hasn't quarterbacked the power play for like half the season because he's not good enough. And then you proceed to put him in the biggest power play of the season. You put him on the power play. Why? You know he's not good enough, but then you proceed to put him on the power play. It makes no sense. Okay, and then the goal, the Sanderson goal, it's like, bro, just a little floater, and it's like, dude, like. Are we being serious, bro? Like, okay, maybe Stolarz didn't see it, which I understand. Okay, fine, it happens. Leaf fans on Twitter want to come here and say, start Joseph Woll Game 5. Are we actually being serious? Bro, what is Joseph Woll? Why should he start Game 5? Stolarz has done well for us. He won like 11 straight games, whatever it was, going like up until Saturday. There is no reason for a goalie change. Again, Leaf fans on Twitter are probably the most delusional fans I've ever seen in my life. Why would you start Joseph Woll? He hasn't started in like 2 weeks. Why would you bring in a cold goaltender when we're trying to close out the series? It makes no sense. Stolarz is fine. He's healthy. He's stopping pucks. Like, I don't see Tampa like calling for Jonas Johansson when Vasi's giving up 6 in Game 1. Like, enough with this, bro. You're starting Stolarz in Game 5, and that is it. Okay? Also, by the way, Game 4, Matthews and Marner didn't really look all that great, but we were still in the game. Nylander is our most valuable forward. Okay, Nylander shows up every series. That freaking pass to OEL, oh my goodness, what a freaking pass. Oh my gosh, Nyzy, Game 4, tremendous. What a breakaway. Turning on the Jets, you know, fuck the Jets, but turning on the Jets, you know, for that breakaway. Tremendous work. You know, Tanev blocking shots. The team itself has actually done very well throughout this whole series. Yes, you know, there was a little blip, you know, in OT, and that is fine. Teams have that all the time. That is okay. That is why I am not worried for Game 5. We have honestly, we've outplayed the Ottawa Senators. The Ottawa Senators don't really scare me. I believe they're watching for the whole 60 minutes. I'm like, dude, maybe there's a couple times where the Ottawa's like, oh wow, like these guys have actually played well. But other than that, bro, the Leafs have outplayed the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah.
And you know what? Overtime happened. You know, whatever. It happens. You better not mess this up. Tomorrow, end the shit now. Okay? There, no more of this, you know, Montreal, no more of Columbus, no more of Boston. This is our little brothers. These are our little sons, bro. These are Ottawa, bro. AI fans. Okay? Cringy playoff song. You know, with that guy singing outside the Canadian Tire Center. That stupid song. Talking about Pinto Brady stew. Shut up. Okay? Cringy fan base. Cringy team. You know, that stupid logo that they have. Okay? It's over. Okay? We have got to do this tomorrow. And the Senators will be at home watching the Leafs in the second round. Just end that shit. We're in Scotiabank Arena. We're in Toronto. And that is it, bro. As simple as that.
And we are going out to watch that game, so we have to. They have to win. This is a must-win.
No, there is no excuse. If we lose tomorrow, there is simply no excuse. The Senators are the definition of mid. Okay, we are a top-tier team in the NHL. There's no excuse. We have got to finish the job. If these guys want to actually prove that they're worth something, you know, Marner contract year. If these guys want to actually prove that they're worth their money, okay, finish the shit out. Do what you're supposed to do. Get the rest for round 2 because you know Florida and Tampa are going to beat the living crap out of each other. Finish it early, and that's it. That is it. Play Stoli because look, if you play Stoli tomorrow, Stoli will have rest for round 2. There is no need to start Woll because what? You're going to give Stoli. Let's say the Leafs win tomorrow with Woll in it. What? You're going to give Stoli that extra day because of rest because he didn't play tomorrow. Like it doesn't make sense.
No.
Stolarz has played for the past 2 weeks. If they win tomorrow, he's still going to get tons of rest anyway. It just doesn't make sense to start Woll. No excuses. They win tomorrow 4-1. I call it a night.
I think that's what they have to do. Of course, this is a must-win. You cannot lose this game tomorrow. I don't care if you have two more chances after that. You cannot allow Ottawa to climb back into the series with the chance to go back to Ottawa and play a Game 6. This is the best scenario possible for the Maple Leafs. At home, loud building, with a chance to beat your division provincial rivals. At home, in your building, with your fans, your passionate fans that bleed blue and white every fucking day. This is your chance to fucking send a message to the entire NHL and say, listen. The old Leafs they're dead. This is this Toronto team, a team that can close out series. Last game marked for the team in 25 years or whatever it was. They are 1-12 in clinching series games. They cannot get it done. They got it done on a lucky John Tavares shot because it bounced off a Tampa player and in. This needs to be finished tomorrow.
This needs to end tomorrow.
This needs to end. You have to end the Senators. Give your team plenty of rest for the second round. You come in, you win Game 5, and you wait for Florida or Tampa. That is what you need to do. You need a big game for Marner. You need a big game for Matthews because he's been a little quiet in this series. And you need a big game from your defense as well because the Senators are getting lucky-ass shots. And obviously Stolarz is going to come to play. He's been there all series. You got to come out and close it out in front of your fans. Simple as that. Win Game 5 and rest for one of the Florida teams. And that is where we'll probably end unless you wanted to add anything before we sign off.
No, tomorrow's must win. No excuse. Everybody's healthy. JT came back after that elbow. He was fine. And you know what, bro? If Leaf fans, complaining about the refs, dude, they just got to play through it, bro. Like, the refs aren't going to change because, the fans are complaining. That's just how they are, and you just got to play through it. Stop fucking complaining, especially Leafs guys. Bro, stop complaining and just play the game, okay? You complaining is not going to do anything, bro. It's not going to change how the refs think. Like, it's simple as that, bro. Okay? Just play your thing, okay? Please don't make it go to overtime again. Because I'm not trying to see 4 straight OTs. Please, please, for the love of God. And that's it, bro.
A dominant win on home ice is what they need.
Yeah, bro, score the only goal, set the tone, and that's it. Play good defense, hit Brady Tkachuk, hit Timmy Stu into the boards, and you're fine. Like, come on, man.
That,
you know what? Again, we were going to lose one.
It was going to be the one in Ottawa.
We ain't losing them all. No.
We will find out if Toronto are chokers or not. We're going to find out tomorrow. Game 5, 7 o'clock. We are here for the Battle of Ontario, and we are here to see what happens between... We'll see if the Leafs even fucking close it out. See if their top guys can do it. And we're going to see how much fight the Ottawa Senators have left, as they need to win every single game, and it all starts with a road win tomorrow against the Maple Leafs. That is where we're going to end this episode of the AJ Sports Podcast. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, tell your friends, and enjoy the rest of the playoffs. We will get back to you later in the week to predict round number 2. So we will see you guys next time, and take care, and peace.